for you. Hey Garden Maters, welcome back to the Corner Homestead Kitchen. Today we are in here and we are going to prepare a cheesy beef potato casserole. I have heard now that some people call it a John Wayne casserole. Not sure if it's the same thing because it's my own version of just a good cheese beef potato casserole. Simple, easy to make, very quick, delicious, filling. It's what you might want for dinner today. Let's get to it. Okay, so I have my one large onion sliced. What you're going to need is a can of cream of celery, a can of cream of mushroom, some sour cream, a little bit of onion powder, some sharp cheddar cheese or any kind of cheese that you may want to use. I use this complete seasoning mix. I get this at BJ's. It's got pretty much everything in it that you could want or need. So I'm going to use this today. I'm also going to be using a little bit of Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of soy sauce. And we're also going to need some black pepper. Now in this pot, we've got our meat browning. This was frozen, so I'm kind of like just boiling it to get it cooked up. Then I'll drain it. It's about 2.5 pounds of ground beef in here. And of course we have our... This was 3 very large russet potatoes, sliced, blanched with just a little bit of salt in the water. Just a little. To start this little concoction, as I call it, we're going to add both of our can of cream of celery and our can of cream of mushroom soup to a bowl. Want to be sure to get all of that goodness out of there. Oh, there we go. I knew it was going to make it out of there. Okay, so to this we're going to add the little bit, just a couple, about 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, about 2 teaspoons of the Worcestershire. I never really measure anything. I just kind of dump it in. This is, I guess about a tablespoon of the onion powder. About 2 tablespoons of the pepper. Okay, and our complete seasoning mix, that doesn't want to come out that way. Our complete seasoning mix, we're just going to add a couple tablespoons of that to it. And I'm going to take a tablespoon and I'm going to add big heapings, 2.5 big heapings of the sour cream. And then you want to mix everything together. Mix it very well. I know you can't really see it. It's going to look funny, but it's going to taste delicious. And now I'm going to add about a half a cup, of the cheddar cheese. My cheese was frozen. And mix the cheese in as well. Now if you think this is a little too thick, you can add some whipping cream or some milk or half and half, whatever you may have on hand. So I'm going to add just a little bit of milk, just because you want it to be a little bit on the thin, runny side, because when you pour this into the potato and beef casserole, you're going to be layering it. And that looks like it's going to be just about perfect. It'll look like that. Might run out of the bowl if you tilt it, so you got to be careful. Okay, so first we're going to put a layer of potato into the bottom. You don't want it real thin. You want to make it thick enough so that when it cooks, you got a good layer on the bottom. So about the half of the potatoes that we cooked is what we're going to put into the bottom. This is just a 9 by 13 casserole dish, standard size, no special dishes used. Okay. So you want it about that deep, about quarter of the way up the pan. Now to this we're going to add the onion. Going to break them apart and add a layer of onion. Now the one whole onion may be too much. You put in what you like. We happen to like onion, so I'm going to use it all. Okay. Now we're going to add a layer of our soup mixture. About half of what we made up. So I guess it's about that much. Now it's going to look like you don't have enough in here, but trust me when I say, when it cooks, it will be plenty. Now we're going to add our ground beef. We want to get all of the ground beef. Spread it out, make it nice and even. Now we add another layer of cheese. Wasn't much in this bag. Went, add the rest. And I had to drop some. That's not good. It's never good to drop cheese. It's too good. Now because the meat is unseasoned, I'm going to take my complete seasoning mix again and just give it a light sprinkle over the cheese. Now we're going to add more potato. You may not need all of the potatoes that you make up. if you use the three. The russets I used were very, very big, so that's why I have so many potatoes, but I think it's going to work out perfect. Now, if you have a deep pan or a deep dish, casserole dish, that would work out even better for this. This is about as deep as I had. So that's all the potatoes. And as you can see, it does work out perfect. You want it to be completely filled. Now we add the rest of the soup mixture. And I am one for getting every little bit. I don't like to leave nothing behind. You want it all. You just want it all, especially with the cost of things. You don't want to waste a thing, at least I don't. So again, you'll be looking at this going, oh, that's just not enough soup in there. But believe me, it is. And it's just so good when it's done. Again, we want it all. Okay, now that cheddar cheese, I have more cheese down in my freezer. But I'm not going to go get that. I am going to use I have a Mexican cheese blend. Mexican cheese blend. There it is, right there. So I'm just going to put this over top of it. Just because I'm feeling lazy and I don't want to go downstairs and get my cheddar cheese. So with this, you want to really get it all onto the top. And this will be just as good because it has the Monterey Jack and the quesadilla and asadero cheeses. And of course, it has cheddar in this as well. So this will be very good to put on here. Okay, so that's it. Got it covered. Going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. The last 15 minutes or so, you want to take the top off so that the cheese can brown up. So after you clean up and you're waiting for it to bake, just do a little dance. Fresh out of the oven. So I ended up cooking this at 375 for 45 minutes. Took the tin foil off the last 15 minutes to get all that brown goodness. Gonna leave it sit for about 10 minutes. Let it settle down. And then we'll serve it up. So there you have it, garden maters. No matter how you try to get this out of the pan, it's pretty much always going to fall apart, become a mess like this, but it's a good mess. Now, I did not find that I needed to add anything to this when it was done. It's just great the way it is. So good. Now, to me, it doesn't need a thing. No salt, no pepper, no anything. You may be different. So one thing to remember is if you cut your potatoes a little thicker, you may want to blanch them a little longer before you add them into the casserole, or you can just cook the casserole a little longer. Now I ended up cooking this casserole 375 for nearly an hour. Last 15 minutes, took off the tin foil so the top would brown. And to me it worked out perfect. The onions and the potatoes, they were soft, but they weren't mushy. And that's the way we like it. you might want to test it after so much time to make sure that it's to your liking. Always a pleasure to have you here in the kitchen. Hope you try the recipe. If you do, please leave comments. Let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. I appreciate all the garden maters who have subscribed to my channel, and if you haven't done so, please do. I love having you here, love having you grow with us and cooking with us. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And until next time, I love you. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you on the next video.